Gotta stop smoking on live. Figure something out. They tripping on that. Y'all come on in here. It's late night. 12 on the east. Maybe 9 on the west. Good evening, everybody. I'll give y'all a few minutes to come on in here. The word of the day. Drop some vocab on y'all. Commerce. Commerce is the word. Commerce. Yeah, we're going to talk about it in 1 second. The activity of buying and selling, especially on a large scale. Commerce. When you come to this YouTube, when you come to this Instagram, when you come to Facebook, you should be a part of commerce. Terrible news. Jackie Avant, wife of music icon Clarence Avant, shot and killed in a Beverly Hills home. Police chief says he doesn't think it was a random attack as investigation continues. I don't think it was a random attack either. If you hitting a lick, I don't think an 81-year-old woman gonna put up much resistance to the point you gotta do anything to her, let alone do something to her husband. Think he close to 90. It just don't make sense. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. Jackie Avant, the philanthropist and wife of legendary music executive Clarence Avant, was shot and killed Wednesday in their Beverly Hills home. She was 81. Jackie and Clarence's daughter, Nicole Avant, is married to Netflix co-CEO, Chief Content Officer Ted Sarandos. A Netflix spokesperson confirmed that Clarence Avant was not injured. I don't think it's a random attack, says Beverly Hills Police Chief Mark G. Stainbrook. Crime of any type will not be tolerated, and we will not rest until the suspect or suspects are brought to justice. Stainbrook said the investigation was very fluid and encouraged the public to come forward with any relevant information. He also said it was too early to speculate what the motive was or whether the shooting was a part of a robbery attempt. According to documents provided by the Hollywood Reporter, to the Hollywood Reporter by the Beverly Hills Police Department, its communications center received a phone call at 2:23 a.m. in response to a shooting in 1100 block of Maytor Place in the high-end Trousdale Estates neighborhood. Upon arrival, police discovered a victim with a gunshot wound. The person was transported to Cedars-Sinai Hospital but did not survive. The report confirmed the suspects were no longer on the scene when police arrived. TMZ was the first to report the news, stating the shooting occurred during a home invasion. During a news briefing Wednesday afternoon, Stainbrook provided few details about the shooting, but said it was a difficult day for our city and shared a message from the Avant family, calling their contributions to the city and entertainment industry unmatched. Clarence Avant is 90 years old. He's known as the Godfather of black music. He's a pioneering deal maker and Grammy-winning exec who has mentored and helped launch the careers of countless artists in the music and entertainment industries, including Little Willie John, Bill Withers, Michael Jackson, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, L.A. Reid, and Babyface. A manager, label owner, concert organizer, and event producer, he created the first African-American-owned FM radio station in metropolitan Los Angeles during the 1970s and founded Sussex Records in 1969 and Taboo Records in 1976 before becoming chair of Motown Records in 1993. His life and legacy was chronicled on screen in the 2019 Netflix documentary The Black Godfather. That's my first time ever hearing about him. I of course, would watch a documentary titled The Black Godfather. Very, very high-powered and prestigious. This don't sound right at all. It don't make sense. 81-year-old woman. She's 81. He's 90. You don't need no gunplay. You don't need no gunplay to handle them. You don't. You don't. And anybody hitting a lick, he said, Clarence is well connected. Anybody hitting a lick, they ain't trying to shoot them old people. He said insurance money. Something's funky about this. I believe this is probably going to be on one of those shows soon. She wanted divorce. Oh. Y'all better stop that. I know the police officers are saying, damn, and all of our time doing police work, we ain't never seen a female have to resort to getting killed and shit. I love this documentary. I did too. BB2223 said, who divorces at 81? That was speculation about the divorce. They about to look into all of that. Yo, nah. Yeah. Boom, boom. She didn't want no divorce at all. Y'all stop lying. She knows something. Mike Bethia, he funny. Their daughter is married to the Netflix co-owner. That's a couple of points that Star raised on the Star Chamber. Under no circumstances would he be pressed for money. Under no circumstances would somebody of his magnitude be pressed for money. He could have got money from anybody in the world. So this ain't about no money. I hate hearing about the elderly taking bullets. Yeah, that's crazy. 81 years old. That's crazy. Somebody's going to pay terrible karma for that. She probably wanted to leave a lot of money to his stepchildren. Epstein trial. What would she have to do with the Epstein trial? What would Ghislaine, that's her name, Ghislaine, right? That's how it's pronounced. Yeah, I know it started this week. It's the biggest trial going on right now. It's probably the trial of 2021. Nah, it might not be. George Floyd was huge. Ahmaud Arbery was huge. But this one right here, she was scheduled to testify. He said, that's sad. At the end of the day, 81. My grandmother is 80. It's something fishy. He was in the crib when Jacqueline got killed. Ghislaine Maxwell is going down. You think she gonna take all of the heat? Epstein, he ducked it, and they say he, but some people say he Yeah, they saying Epstein, he's not. I mean, you know people and their speculations. Ghislaine, you said this is going to be a big month, Gully. Well, it's the first now. It's December 1st now, but November was huge. They really go together in the fourth quarter in the entertainment business. The fall months is basically the fourth quarter. Well, the winter months is basically the fourth quarter and shit like that. Um, November, December, and January. People are home from school, from college. People are home from the military visiting. People are at home watching YouTube and fucking with their phones. So there's a reason why the Twitter CEO stepped down. Peace. You know that billionaire wasn't about to do no prison time. Yeah, Epstein is. There's no way he's deceased. There's no way he's deceased. It's a disappearing act. Ain't nobody else to take the blame, so she got to. She's on trial. They didn't give her no pre-trial bail. She been in jail. She's been in jail a couple years, I think. Clarence Avant, wife was born Jacqueline Alberta Gray. Jackie was a former Ebony Fashion Fair model known for her philanthropy. She served as president of the Neighbors of Watts, a support group for the South Central Community Child Care Center, and as an entertainment chair of the Now Benefit Act auction and Now membership. She also served on the board of directors of the International Student Center at UCLA. In an interview with NBC Black around the release of her dad's Netflix documentary, Nicole described her mother as a passionate person who fostered her love of the arts. My mom is really the one who brought to my father and our family the love and passion and importance of the arts and culture and entertainment, she recalled. While my father was in it making all the deals, my mother was the one who gave me, for example, my love of literature, my love of filmmaking, my love of storytelling. Following the news, Tyler Perry, Quincy Jones, Viola Davis, Magic Johnson, and other Hollywood figures took to social media to pay tribute to Avant. She was a philanthropist, so she wasn't in need of any money. She was obviously filthy on her own. Sound like she was a maid. Sound like she was a made woman. This is gonna be a scandalous situation. This stinks. This stinks. This stinks. This stinks. This stinks. He said, "This sounds fishy. They're gonna dig everything up behind this." EP had too much money just Epstein had too much money just to be dead. We need to start collecting our own debts. This sounds fishy. If somebody was doing a home invasion, right? Boom. Let's say it was random home invaders. Random home invaders. As soon as they get in there and see some old people, they gonna know how to handle them. Oh, we ain't got to clap nothing. We ain't got to create no ruckus. This is just gonna go real, real smooth. The last thing anybody want to do is hurt anybody, especially somebody who's up in age like that. They don't pose you no threat. Don't make no sense to have killed her. It don't. Shit had to be. and she's a philanthropist. They got married in 1967 and been together for more than 50 years. Jackie and Clarence have 2 children, former U.S. Ambassador to the Bahamas, Nicole, 53, and Alexander Dubois Avant, 50. He said, this is mad weird. Supposed to be an easy lick, supposedly. Now, y'all know they ain't nobody going for this. Black America ain't going for this. Everybody that look like me and you like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. He said, no need to hurt the elderly. Right. The fact that you had someone go after Avant, you know they have no morals or rules. "60 Minutes special coming soon." 60 Minutes, MSNBC, CNN, all the investigative reports platforms, all of them, all of them. Too big of a deal. Too big of a deal. He said they came to collect offerings. He said somebody put that play down. That's like taking out Quincy Jones. He said grandma wasn't going like that simple. She bucked on him. You still ain't got to shoot her. An 81-year-old, you don't have to shoot her. You can handle her with your hands, or physically restrain her or something like that. She's 81. The article don't say what was taken. Most people that do home invasions, they be looking for specific things. He said that, oh, she gonna give it up, no problem. She's a philanthropist. She give away money and shit for a living. She gives away her wealth and fortune for a living. So I don't see nobody like that resisting no robbery. You came here to take something? Here, baby. Yeah, just get up out of here. Here. I can nah. 81, a philanthropist. She healed people for a living. Don't make sense. The Netflix movie is good. That trial and that list, pay attention, do a deep dive. I just threw you an alley-oop. You think it was a message for him? Beverly Hills. That statement hit. OG must not be moving off of something. He said that shot was personal. It was security in the house, but she shot the late. It was security in the house, but he shot the old lady and not the security. And the security didn't fire back. The security never fired a shot. He said kids probably watched that Netflix documentary and wanted a piece. Inside Jizz, He said, let's make a J Prince call on the hood. Ain't nobody black got no power in regards to shit like this. This is when you see who's a gangster for real. This is when you see who's the, the super gangsters and who got the connections and power and shit like that. This is a very, very, very high profile and prestigious situation. Niggas ain't gonna do nothing. Foul play, chess moves, cameras everywhere. The mafia put Avant in power, they still exist. I didn't want to say anything like that in regards to an extortion move. He's high powered, right? He's high powered and shit, right? The fact that something happened to her and not him, it kind of, like, was this done to hurt him? Was this done to let him know we not playing with you or something like that? I don't know. No telling what that lady has seen or heard in her lifetime. He said that is a mob move, though. If nothing happens, it's because Mr. Avant doesn't want anything to happen. He runs a lot. He said, you seen the documentary, Gully. That man is damn near international ambassador. This some espionage shit. It is. It is. It is. This is made for TV like a motherfucker. This is like some Jimmy Hoffa shit. Who or what has he done? I just read off some of his accomplishments. He created the first African-American-owned FM radio station in metropolitan Los Angeles. Did you hear that? He the first nigga with a radio station in Los Angeles. How you like that? Check out his 2019 Netflix documentary, The Black Godfather. I'm pretty sure it's still up there. Go check it out. He helped discover Bill Withers, too. He's a giant. He said it's California, and home invasion is a way of life. I didn't want to say this either, because I don't want to stereotype anybody. If it's some home invasions going on, this type of monkey shit, this type of activity might, you might can profile people that do this type shit, right? The people that do this type shit, they might look like me and you. Let's say the people that do this type of shit, they might look like me and you. Let's put ourselves behind this mask, right? If we go to do a robbery and we go and see an 81-year-old black man and woman, don't the whole complexion of the robbery change right away? Don't the oh shit, man, goddamn. Like, we might not even do this no more. You feel me? Like, we might not even do this. We might not even do this no more. I'm just keeping it real and shit. Like, you got to be of extreme savagery to go in there. Damn, man, like, do we got to do this here? Like, I'm just being for real. Like, you got to be totally absent of any decency. Period. So, boom. With that being said, he said we all love grandma. Exactly. With that being said, I don't think a person would shoot her. I don't think a person would shoot her. Not unless that's what they were supposed to do. I just don't think they would shoot her. No. They might shoot him, you know what I'm saying, to let her, bitch, you better be quiet. You ain't gonna be quiet? Shoot her husband in the leg. Pow, now you gonna be quiet? Like, it's just, there's so many different ways that this would have been handled. She's 81. He 90. They got one foot in. they got a toe in, they got a half of a foot in. So it just don't make sense for a person to be that savage in regards to handling them, especially if you came to rob something. If you came to rob something, he said somebody's hands ain't been greased. He said the most giving couple could rob though, man. They philanthropists. She's a philanthropist. If you done came to rob a motherfucker, you about came to the right place because they give away money and things for free to the disadvantaged, to motherfuckers that's robbing and fucking their lives up and shit. Like, can I heal you? Can I help your organization? Like, you need a transplant? Like, they heal. You feel me? So it just don't make sense for them to resist a robbery if we give away money and shit for free anyway. Man, get this motherfucker a check, man. Get this motherfucker some money. Like, fuck. He said, Gully, everybody got Ring doorbells and home cameras. I'm pretty sure in this prestigious neighborhood, it was ring lights everywhere. It was ring lights and cameras everywhere. He said that was no home invasion. He said they must have thought they were randoms. If I'm going to Beverly Hills to rob something, and we kick in the door, there's black folks in here. I'm shocked to see niggas out here. I mean, for real. For real. If you doing a kick door and it was random, and you go, oh man, there's niggas in here. What the fuck? We didn't expect this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't have to come all the way to Beverly Hills to rob no niggas. We could have robbed niggas in South Central or any of these other areas and shit. I mean, I know you want to go to the rich neighborhood where they're going to have some good items and shit, but seriously, like, man, there's niggas in here. There's black folks in here. It smell like chicken in this motherfucker. It's real black folks in here, man. Like, we can't do this. The fuck? It's Thanksgiving time, man. Let's get the fuck up out of here, man. We going to be cursed forever. We're gonna have bad luck forever, man. We gotta get the fuck out of here. No decent jack boys would do that shit. Man, we have bad luck for the rest of our lives, man. We can't do this, man. No. Straight up. He said it's been cracking out here, but people don't go to Beverly Hills for that. And another thing, right? If you make the decision to go to Beverly Hills, you know they coming to court. If you rob anything in Beverly Hills, they're coming to court to tell on you. They're coming to testify. They're coming to every hearing. Like, with that being said, motherfuckers might not even want to go there with their bullshit, man. We ain't going out there fucking with them, man. You know them got security. We can't. No, man. We gonna go over here and rob this. Like, seriously. He said, I bet Clarence knows the killers. He said, 81, all they had to do was just flash the hammer. Exactly. The Avants are big Democratic donors. They're friends with the Obamas. This could be a political hit. I believe whatever happened is going to be over our heads and shit, like the explanation, the motive and everything. Like, it's going to be something. His son-in-law owns Netflix. This is blank's revenge for the Dave Chappelle special. What did Clarence Avant have to do with the Dave Chappelle special? He said G4 classification. He's super high profile. He said nobody takes an old lady crown just cause. Nah. There's definitely more to the story. I agree. Y'all like this video. Got y'all up late tonight. 12:30 on the East. Clarence Beeks, where you been, pimp? Definitely not a random situation. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter at Gully TV1. It's only one way in. Cameras all over in Beverly Hills on every street light. So why would somebody want to go there to do some home invading? The police chief blowing up the spot. He said he don't think it was a random attack. The Godfather shouldn't get got like that. Is it possible Clarence wanted her out of his ear? They gonna look into all of that. What was the dude that played Beretta? What was the dude that played? He said, "I see you more active on Twitter." Yeah, I've been fucking with Twitter lately. Who was the dude that played Beretta? What was his name? I think he got away with his. I think he played Beretta. Robert Blake. Robert Blake. What did Robert Blake do? Didn't he do some? Didn't he do some Ray Caruth type shit? Big up to the dribble. Your book is fire. There's definitely something sinister about this incident. He said, nah, they gave his old ass life. He said he killed his wife. That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to be wrong. He said he killed his wife. He said he beat it, but yeah, they said he killed his wife. I thought he got life. I thought he went to jail. If he didn't go to jail, they was on his ass. Woo-wee. They was on his ass like OJ. Straight up, they was on his ass. He said, nah, he beat that case. Damn. This will be compared to some shit like that. He said he was acquitted. This will be compared to some shit like that Robert Blake shit. Immediately. Watch. He said, bruh, they follow you if you black driving around in Beverly Hills after 4 p.m. So the consensus is, so I take it regular black folks wouldn't go to Beverly Hills to do no home invasion. He said he beat that joint. He did time though. Yeah, he was in jail for a minute. Can't believe he beat that shit. He lost in civil court. Every time somebody beat the criminal case, they come back and get booked in civil court. That's crazy. He got acquitted of murder. It took 12. Took it to 12 and walked. He hired a hitman. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get the notifications. Good evening, everybody. Jackie Avant, philanthropist, wife of music icon Clarence Avant, shot and killed in her Beverly Hills home. He said, nah, he killed 2 wives. He said, that sounds like dude been working with the Mizab. Black folks in LA always been wealthy. Top 3 out of 10 richest black communities in America are, in fact, located in South Central Los Angeles and adjacent to gang territory, Windsor Hills and Baldwin Hills. Robert was convicted in a civil case in 2005 for his wife's murder. He said, this is America. Everything is happening. He said, just Google where it happened at. Look how you had to get to the house. One of them cul-de-sac type neighborhoods. If nothing was taken, it's definitely an inside job. Why would they call it a home invasion if nothing was taken? He said, LA is deeper than what you think. Clarence Avant is the Black Godfather. That's his title. That's the title of his Netflix 2019 Netflix documentary. I watched it. He was a boss. He was a boss. He seemed like he was like one of them Don King type niggas. I'm not calling him like, you know, no slickster or nothing like that, but one of them high-powered black men to stand and arbitrate and being between big business deals and shit like that. Just a mover and shaker. A manager, label owner, concert organizer, and event producer is some of his titles. He said, oh, I know exactly who now. I seen that joint. It was his wife. He said, I thought Aaliyah's uncle was a Black Godfather. Barry Hankerson. There's several. But I think Clarence Avant is, you know, the undisputed, you know what I mean, by way of like the big entertainment guys, the Quincy Joneses, the fucking, you know, Diddy, Hove, and you know who, Bill Cosby, like Denzel, all of the big niggas. Clarence Avant is the guy. He said, oh yeah, he was very connected. He said most flockers would just dip out if someone is in the house. They don't get down like that. I gotta do the knowledge. He got a documentary. Check it out. It's still on Netflix. Getting to the second portion of my live stream. This is gonna fuck y'all up. New York City is starting their own Hamsterdam. Y'all remember Hamsterdam? Y'all remember Hamsterdam from The Wire? This also on AP News. New York City okays safe sites for drug use, aiming to curb overdoses. Hamsterdam. They got real live Hamsterdams coming to the United States. They got Hamsterdams, man. This is crazy. I'm like, God damn, this is crazy. This is crazy. The first officially authorized safe havens for people to use heroin and other narcotics have been cleared to open in New York City in hopes of curbing deadly overdoses, the mayor and health commissioner said Tuesday. They opening up trap spots. They opening up trap spots. The overdose prevention centers, commonly known as supervised injection sites or safer consumption spaces, have been discussed for years in New York and some other U.S. cities and states. They already exist in Canada, Australia, and Europe. Ain't that a bitch? A few unofficial facilities have operated in the city for some time. Them dope houses, allowing drug users a monitored place to partake. Proponents say the facilities save lives by recognizing the reality of drug use and providing a space where users are watched for signs of overdoses, which claims a record number of lives in the city and the nation last year. I'm proud to show cities in this country that after decades of failure, a smarter approach is possible, Mayor Bill de Blasio, a Democrat, said in a statement. That's crazy as fuck. Now, you know what's next, right? You know what's next, right? You know what's next? He said, yeah, we see how that ended on the wire. You know what's next, right? They gonna start selling stamp bags. They gonna start selling stamp bags. They gonna start selling stamps. The same way they selling weed, they gonna start selling stamps. They gonna make a reason, they gonna make it logical for a motherfucker to use heroin. The same way they do it with everything. Watch. Y'all don't play, man, I can't believe this shit. They really selling dope. The shit that they put motherfuckers in jail. I know motherfuckers who doing life like, man, this is unbelievable. They can't possibly keep people in jail for life for drugs doing this shit. They can't. They can't. He said, money to be made. Don't say that. They're going to put me out of business. Pharma wants you on drugs. The rehab drugs make the pharma industry profit on both ends. They've been advocating that for a long time, following, I believe, behind Portugal, who totally decriminalized drugs. I believe it was Portugal. He said, Boston have the methadone mile. Gentrification is real. He said, oh, they can and will. The pharma industry, Bayer, Merck, and Pfizer are the ones bringing the drugs in here. Bayer introduced heroin in America over the counter about 100 years over. He said Boston has an area like Amsterdam on the wire. This one, this shit right here, I believe these is gonna be facilities. Opponents, however, see the sites as moral failures that essentially sanction people to harming themselves and create hubs of drug use. Further, federal law bans operating a place for taking illegal drugs, and the government successfully sued in recent years to block a supervised consumption space in Philadelphia. They already tried this in Philly. He said the deaths will go down. That's the reason that they're gonna make it. They're gonna say that it works. The U.S. Justice Department declined Tuesday to comment on New York City's plan, which is placing supervised injection sites at existing syringe exchange programs. So where they exchanging the needles at, they allowing them to get high there now. Supervised injection sites don't sell drugs. Users bring their own, but have monitors who watch. Sterile syringes and other are usually on hand. Chakosky suggested the facilities also would offer people referrals to drug and treatment facilities. They're trying to make it sound like it's the right thing to do. He says, sounds like Kensington Ave here in Philly. Dope in their veins instead of hope in their brains. Why not have an open air drug market? These places are going to be where? The hood. They most certainly wouldn't open no shit like this in anybody else's community. Gully, look at Oregon. It's already cracking. Yeah, they dressing it up, trying to make it sound like it's, I don't know. They have been doing it for all these years. Sound like Pennsylvania Ave and Baltimore. Proponents say safe consumption spaces sometimes can gently steer users toward treatment, but it's not a requirement. The primary aim is just to keep them from overdosing to death. The U.S. has been contending for years with a boom in opioid use and deaths, fueled at first by increased prescribing in the 1990s, and then by users turning to heroin and illicit fentanyl. So it's almost like they put people on dope. The U.S. has been contending for years with a boom in opioid use and deaths, fueled at first by increased prescribing in the 1990s. They hooked motherfuckers in the 90s. And then by users turning to heroin and illicit fentanyl, trying to get that same dope fix. He said they put people on crack also. Nearly 500,000 people died nationwide of opioid overdoses from 1999 to 2019, according to the Federal Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, and the epidemic only worsened last year. The CDC estimated there were more than 93,300 overdose deaths in 2020, up 30% from the prior year's number. It's a spike. In New York City, more than 2,060 people died of overdoses last year, the most since the reporting began in 2000. He said they already in the hood using it in the street. Why not make it safe? I just report the news. I know one thing. If they decriminalizing the whole act of using the drug, if they taking the stigma away from using it and say, okay, you could sit down at this lunch table and have a cup of coffee and shoot your dope, they gonna try to sell them some dope soon. They gonna be like, well, why don't we can just eliminate the whole drug trade.
I'm not able to help with this one yet.
Boom. He said sellers need to be freed. That's fucked up, man. They got people doing life for that shit and they decriminalizing this shit. Why not put a war on opioids like they did crack? They've been doing that in Canada. Gully, we rocking with you down here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Godspeed. Keep that content coming. Thank you. They give out a boxing at a lot of hospitals. I ain't taking shit. I don't take nothing but the needle at the dentist. That's it. I ain't taking shit. The aftercare, I don't even be taking the shit that they give you at the dentist. If it's not an antibiotic, I ain't taking it. I ain't taking nothing with no codone in it. No, none of the dones, codone, hydrocodone, oxycodone on it. None of that. I seen that documentary, Leah. Better let them die in the street than they not stopping. At least they trying something better than nothing. They trying it. They said it worked in other countries. He said, I had my spill with them after a few car accidents. I had to check myself. Yeah, they very addictive. Brett Favre got on them joints from some type of injury. He said, nah, lock them people up like they did our people. They got to let people come home. They can't keep locking motherfuckers up, yo. That's just going to increase the problem. The whole thing with letting people come home from jail is to reduce the expenses required to feed their motherfucking ass. A boxing goes for $25. One on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, perk 10s are 20. Elderly people are not getting shot. They was coming in like they was looking for something. Peace to the gods and earths. I don't use OxyClean on my laundry. I took that Oxy for a toothache. That stuff dangerous. I was high, way too comforting. A fool will fall victim. Hillary called black men predators for selling drugs. Grady Hospital, that's Atlanta, gave us a gang of perks for free at first just to get you hooked. Don't do no opioids, period. Don't do no drugs, period. Don't do no pills, no cane, none of that shit, man. Like, yo. None of that. Anyway, I had to get on here and talk about the late Jackie Avant. Very unfortunate situation. Philanthropist and white wife of legendary music executive Clarence Avant was shot and killed in her Beverly Hills home. She was 81 years old. Miss Avant was casualty at war. They gotta find out who fucking did that, yo. That shit is gonna be on the fire stick. That shit gonna be on the fire stick within like 6 months. All of them shows that we be watching, I almost got away with it. Famous killings, celebrity killings, all of that is coming. What Gene Jackie you talking about? The one I just posted today? I only did like 2 or 3 of them joints. The industry is foul. Very foul. Rest in peace to Jackie Avant. I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all for coming through. He said the LA News will try and tell you what was missing from the house. He said, was she white? No, she wasn't white. She was black and she was a philanthropist. She was a former ebony model. If a man's name is the Black Godfather, you know he gonna have like the baddest chick in the room. Her name, she was born Jacqueline Alberta Gray. Jacquelines normally be some bad motherfuckers. I ain't never seen an ugly Jacqueline yet. Y'all know any ugly Jacquelines? People don't name their daughter Jacqueline unless they think very highly of her. They don't look down at a baby and say, we're gonna name you Jacqueline unless she's stunning. Straight up. So she was a former ebony fashion model, known for her philanthropy. She served as president of the Neighbors of Watts, a support group for the South Central Community Child Care Center, and as an entertainment chairman of the Now Benefit Auction and Now membership. She also served on the board of directors for the International Student Center at UCLA. The industry foul, you black or brown. White folks can live forever in music like Elton John, or in movies like Clint Eastwood and chill forever. They was looking for a husband. My man said, my dad bagged a Jackie. Jean Dill said her husband is very powerful. If you seen the documentary, I'm about to roll up and watch it again when I get up off of here. You'll see his story. Make sure y'all check it out. It's called The Black Godfather. It was released in 2019. I'm about to get up out of here. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll get back with y'all. Get your dribble right.